The Wrestling Mayhem Show. Since 2006, the pioneer in pro wrestling podcasting.
This show is brought to you by IndieWrestling.us and IndieWrestling.network for your independent wrestling entertainment. Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Do what you got to do, make it last.
It is the Wrestling Mayhem Show episode. I don't know. It's not in the middle of the screen because I don't have the right computer up here. Because that computer is in Pittsburgh. Because I'm in Adrian, Michigan, in the shadow, in about half an hour away from the Michigan Speedway, where I'll be working on some stuff I didn't talk about on the AwesomeCast what I was doing out here. I just realized I never got to that and said I was at the beginning of the show. But we are early, yes, because I have an early morning, and I haven't eaten dinner yet, and we're probably going to talk about France, and that's about it. And it's just a really weird week, but at least we're doing a show. Sorry about the microphone moving. I'm getting used to this headset in a podcast fashion. So, dealing with that. But with me, first of all, is my running buddy number one. The Riz is with us.
Literally, the running buddy.
Literal running buddy.
Literal running buddy.
Yay!
We did a relay.
Yes.
With like zero preparation for
Zero
this.
preparation because Dutters said so.
Yeah, and when Dutters talks, we listen.
This is
Obviously.
true. This is definitely true.
Because she is a lot. She is slightly taller than you, but she's a lot taller than me.
Wait, are you telling me you're threatened by Katie and that's why you accepted this?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Sorg.
I did it because she's a nice person, and I feel like I owe her a lot for helping me out with a lot of things.
Well, that too, but
like a mutually beneficial, helping a buddy out with a thing kind of situation.
There's also that, but the majority is that she could probably beat me up in a fight.
She could beat you up in a fight.
And then I would probably deserve it.
Okay. What did you do, Riz? What did you do?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Nothing. Anyways, also with us, an avid runner who did a lot more than either of us did. Did
Yeah.
the marathon this year. Dave Potter is with us.
Yep. Yeah, I got a little bit more
Wow,
gold
look
than
at
you guys do,
that.
but and I got the special gold colored there.
Yeah, you got the what was that? The Runner and Steel one, and you got the half
Yep.
marathon one, or Steel
Yep,
Challenge.
the steel challenge for doing the 5K on Saturday, and then the back half
Jeez.
gold half marathon one on Sunday.
And
And
I-
of course, you have to show the entire background
Mhm,
of that.
mhm. Yeah, whole wall of medals you got
Yeah.
going on over there. So, but I got follow up to this story that does involve wrestling because I ran into some friends. We're hanging out at Taco Mania. We got to see the second session of Taco Mania. Katie and I went up there. Whatever was left of us, at least, we're getting tacos, we're getting beer. This is our celebration because we did this. Okay. And she's done this before, but of course not a lot of training other than what we've been doing on the road here. We were, walking the sandy hills of the desert in California too, the last weekend, I guess it was, and everything before this. But in Hollywood and the cemeteries and stuff like that, that was our training. But I ran into one savage gentleman who was hanging out on Sunday. And I was like, so you're going to join us for next year, right? And he's like, nope, not about that. I'm like, bro, you're in way better shape than I am. You got to, come on, you just do a 3-mile relay with us or something. He's like, nope. And I was like, well, I'm going to be hitting those messages up for the next year. So everybody tweet the Savage Gentleman and ask him to join Team Mayhem Relay Team for next year, okay? Wink.
Peanut butter is a great training.
Oh, yeah. Just tell him there's some
It is-
peanut butter at
there's
the
a
finish
lot-
line. I'm like,
There's a
hey,
lot of good protein.
I want to do
A
it.
lot of good protein with the peanut butter.
I
Yep.
want to be his handoff. This is for you. Savage Gentleman, Victor Benjamin, this is for you. I want to do a spot where I want to be your handoff in the relay, because you'll probably get a better time than I am, so you leave me in, so make me look good. But I want you hand me the baton, I'll hand you peanut butter. Right?
You're gonna run with? Wait.
No, I'll meet him at the
You're-
relay.
you're just gonna run
he's
with
gonna
peanut butter?
run up to me and hand
Oh.
me the
No.
baton.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
okay.
done, and I'm gonna hand him peanut butter to have with his
Yeah.
banana that they give you. By the way, I didn't get my banana.
Yeah, I didn't get a banana either.
Yeah,
Oh.
we weren't in the banana group.
Well, yeah, it's a little hard with the early parts of the relay.
Yeah, they were
Yeah,
there,
and we
but they
were-
weren't there by the time we got there. So
Yeah.
yeah. But hey, it was a first time, so that's fine. That's fine. Tina says Dutter's intimidated. Psh,
Well, Tina, Dutters could step on us.
well,
Again, if she did, it would be our fault.
Yeah, of course.
It is like, I listen. Maybe you can't tell by the voice on podcasting, but I am 6'4", and when you do have somebody that's like as tall as you, it's just like, oh hey, that's with wrestling. I'm like, oh hey, we had a sound guy on 880 last week. I was like, oh geez, you're like 6 inches taller than me. It takes me back a little bit because I'm just used to being in a room of people where I'm looking over everybody's head. You know what I mean?
Man, that must be nice.
It
Like,
must
like
be nice.
Also for Tina in chat, Tina, you're taller than I am. You're an inch or two taller than me.
Anyways, I'm shorter than all of you. No.
no.
Anyways, let's talk wrestling. It's the Wrestling Mayhem Show. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here. Again, a little early if you're joining on the live, so sorry if you tuned in later and we've already done this thing. But we're doing the thing, and that's what's important right now. And this is the wrong logo, I'm realizing, that's up here, so I'm going to see if I can fix that. Oh, well,
No.
it's fine. It's fine.
Is it Awesome Cast?
No, it
Is
just
it
does,
awesome?
no. It's just got the logo, and it doesn't have the corner thing at the top. So I think I pulled the wrong graphic in.
that's
Listen.
fine.
I had like 90 minutes to get the show ready for Awesome Cast, and we led right into the Mayhem Show. So I'm fine tuning this travel thing, but it's really cobbled together based on everything that I brought for whatever the other project is that I had to bring. Thankfully, I have a lot more because I drove up here instead of taking a plane. But anyways, wrestling. I want to talk about the French. Ooh la la, merci beaucoup, fromage.
Oui.
The French.
Oui.
The we. The
Omelette du fromage.
the singers, the amazing, the 11,000 strong for Backlash and SmackDown this past weekend was one of the most delightful watches that I've seen. Okay, I watched SmackDown late Friday, early Saturday. I can't remember when I snuck it in there. I've been watching pieces of Backlash until like Monday night. I finally watched the main event around everything else that's been going on, and man, please keep doing these international things. And they talked about it, like, you know, they don't get it as often, so they're very excited. Like, you know, France gets them maybe like once a year or something, right? So they are very, very, very excited. On top of, man, they have been on fire lately at WWE. So and what is probably a maddening thing for the audio mixer to try to get that crowd and do that, because they are so loud, it has to be leveling out those microphones. It has to be. It's got to be peaking them before the mix. And it's because you know, I remember when they did Puerto Rico, and there was this, and some SmackDowns are like this, where there's this like kind of underlying, I don't want to call it buzz, but there's like a noise, right? And that's the crowd. And it doesn't sound like that in person. It's something about how it comes into their microphones, and they got to have some of the best arena mics, you know, in the business for this kind of thing, right? And still, you know, I mean, we've got hockey, we've got, you know, things in stadiums with football and baseball and things like that, and I'm sure those get loud. But again, just like when you go to WrestleMania at AT&T Stadium, like, you know, it's the audio moves differently than 11,000 people concentrated. Like, they made that arena seem small by how on their feet they were the entire show. And also weird, and this is the thing I'm watching after, like, halfway through the second one, I'm just like, are there any ladies in this audience? Like, then I found one in the front row, and I was like, it was a very dude, and I love that the chants that they did, everybody stopped singing at the same time. There were no stragglers on these things. These guys were absolutely hive-minded when it came to a lot of this stuff, and it was absolutely incredible. Shaking the hard cam up there. I don't know what kind of arena this is. You know, I realize there's no basketball, hockey arenas probably in France like they are here. Not in the same. Like, I don't know what this arena is. So if anybody wants to hit the research department out here, there's some French in the. They were singing the Phenomenal song, whatever this was. Tina just put this in. Now, I took a little bit of French in high school that I forgot about. Il est vraiment phenomenal, la 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 la, is apparently what they were singing over and over again during that main event.
I think it means like you're very phenomenal. No, it's like something very phenomenal. I forget what the.
Chachi actually sent me a cheat sheet, and I didn't get to apply it. There was a cheat sheet of, I presume, French things that they were chanting. C'est état marchand, that was evil. C'est pas gentil, that's not nice. Undo simplement deux, 1, 2, only 2. I noticed that on the 2 counts. Dans les poteaux, into the post. They were singing for into the post? For post spots? That's amazing. This is.
I'm thinking some of that comes from the football.
Yeah. Okay.
Or as we heathens call it, soccer.
So the one that
because there's so many chants over there.
Absolutely. The phenomenal one is he is truly phenomenal. Il passe par dessus la joyeuse me corde. He went over the top rope. Could you imagine? We're just like we were just at an indie show, and like 20 of us just yell, "He went over the top rope!" You know, like that's crazy.
They would have booed us out of the building.
Saw come tight. Saw come pa. I think I messed up that middle part. It didn't count. like that's awesome.
Sorg is right now bringing in demons to his apartment now, or to his
my Holiday Inn Express.
Holiday Inn Express right now with his chants.
If that's not a sign, I don't know what is. Anyways, but no, and I'm realizing like how much like how to pronounce French actually came through. I'm sure I murdered it, but I felt a little more confident at least. Like like some 25-year-old knowledge, just more than just saying fromage.
Well, the other thing I noticed that's different that they did there that that doesn't happen here are the cell phones.
Mhm.
The white light cell phones, especially during Jey Uso's entrance.
So cool.
Just completely
So cool.
boom, 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 boom. It was like, that was amazing. That was so amazing.
Jim LaMotta, who we were talking about on the last podcast, without naming his name, says Sorg trying to decipher French is tremendous, and Riz is an international man of mystery. So,
What?
no, what? I don't know. That's what he's saying. I don't know.
I haven't been out of the country, and how do you know that? Who do you work for, Lamada?
Who do you work for? Who does number
If that is your real name.
But and it's a tremendous show. I mean, like, I didn't think there was a lot of surprises there. There wasn't a lot of surprises there as far as, like, I didn't expect a lot of title changes or anything like that, right? And camera timed out again. It's the first time using this camera. It's still covered in dust from the last event I did. I need to clean that off for tomorrow. But anyways, so yeah, but I think it was a lot, not a lot of surprises really, but like it was a lot of it didn't matter because the character was the crowd. You know what I mean? So I really. It was a lot of fun to watch, regardless.
Oh,
You just
yeah.
need one crowd to be at least on beat.
Yeah, it was WrestleMania energy.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was. It was. This could be the title. Big WrestleMania energy.
Big WrestleMania energy.
Like international
I like it.
WrestleMania. Just like
Yeah.
every pay-per-view outside of the U.S. has that connection.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I think like the best way to see that is with things like we were just talking about with AJ Styles, who was
Yeah.
the heel in this match,
Mm-hmm.
and he got the loudest pop
Mm-hmm.
of
They
the
appreciate
night.
him. They appreciate him.
They-
They don't get
yeah.
seen that often.
because
Mhm.
I mean, he's been in the business for how long?
Yeah.
30, like more like around 30 years.
Uh,
TNA was 20
no,
some years.
25 years. I'd say
25
years.
years.
Yeah.
But like TNA was huge in Europe.
Yeah.
Like I remember they had bigger numbers for the longest time in Europe.
O2 Arena, remember that?
Yes.
Yeah.
And like they wanted to see AJ Styles
when
in
those
person.
When those guys went to the 1PW shows that Dabrowski worked on, I've had a chance to touch that footage a couple of times on projects. Man, those events were indie shows, and they had like TNA guys on them, and they were full. Because they had those guys, and I think Graves, certainly James Keenan, Corey Graves was a part of those too, and a lot of those like kind of TNA indie guys, right? And they were like rocking shows, right? For indies. So yeah, no, they're really tapping into something. I'm excited to see what Germany looks like. I can't wait to see Clash at the Castle again. I loved it when they did that event last time. Keep this up, man.
Yeah, I would say hoping for the castle event that Drew is medically cleared.
Absolutely.
Because, but one thing that helps is, and hopefully they're going to keep it this way outside of, let's say, the big 4 or 5.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it to 5 matches, maybe 6 matches. There were
Yeah.
only 5 matches on that event.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't need to have 8 matches on a pay-per-view.
Over quantity, and they realize that, and the powers that be right now are all about that. They are about quality over quantity. They are all about that kind of vibe.
And with the network, especially internationally starting next year on Netflix, you don't have to push people to buy a pay-per-view.
Well, you already don't. So
Right.
No, I want to make sure we're making a point here. So just a reminder, Netflix for us in America, they're going to have Raw, right? Your NXT's moving
Right.
to CW, and SmackDown's coming back to USA. So there's not much. Raw is the biggest change there, of course.
Right.
Internationally, they're going to get all 3. So warm up your VPNs, folks. But still, the pay-per-views are still over on Peacock
In the U.S.
in the U.S. for the time.
But
being. Are they getting the pay-per-views internationally? No, because
No.
They have the
That'll
network. They have the network.
But I
Still.
thought.
I thought Netflix was getting
I
the
think
pay-per-views
Netflix-
international
Oh yeah, Netflix is getting
Netflix
international.
next year.
So
And that's going to be massive for
right, because right now,
international expansion.
so right now, Peacock's America only. WWE Network still exists in most other territories, right? And Netflix just snapped out the rights basically of what was left of WWE Network internationally, which I have pontificated that this also means I firmly hold a belief that once that Peacock's deal is done, you'll see an announcement for a deal for Netflix to get everything else. You know, and maybe that deal's not done. Maybe there's a right of first refusal for Peacock. I don't know. You know, is Peacock generally doing well? Who knows? There's all these. I know there's all this talk about Paramount Plus being sold. You know, so what does that turn into? Does Peacock have enough money to take another swing for a big deal to keep WrestleMania? Right. So what does that look like? I would not be surprised if they do end up on Netflix and it just becomes a holistic situation there, which makes so much more sense to me than anything else. So, and even have Raw in one place. And basically, if you're in America, all that you have that you are going to have a problem seeing is NXT and SmackDown now, right? I was talking to Chachi's like stopped watching after WrestleMania because he's on Peacock, doesn't have cable, and everything's a month away, and he's not going to watch them on Hulu because you can't watch Raw on Hulu because the first one back you had a 50-minute promo, and that was half the show because they cut it down to 90 minutes. It's not watchable. You don't know what you're getting. You know, like they're cutting matches down. It's not a fair watch for the people that don't have cable, right? And there's no other way to do that outside of cable other than waiting 30 days. To which I suggested, well, why don't you just wait for 30 days, start watching this stuff for 30 days ago because now it's after WrestleMania, and then you just watch the pay-per-view they're leading up to when you get to it. If you don't care about what's the latest news, right? So,
right.
And I don't know. Maybe some people do that. I have no idea. So I'm very curious about that situation. But anyways. But this was fun. We have a Saudi show next with King and Queen of the Ring, like King and Queen of the Ring. You know, hopefully do some fun stuff there. We have Money in the Bank is happening in Toronto, I believe, and I don't think we have the American. Cleveland is going to get SummerSlam. I'm very excited about that. I should probably get tickets soon. It's 2 hours from where we're at in Pittsburgh. I just drove by. I just drove by, guys, on the way up here. So it wasn't even like halfway up here to Michigan. So
I want to say I don't think it's sold out, but I saw a whole bunch of people talking about tickets for SummerSlam going on sale and being like 4,000th in line.
What? No.
Online. I mean, when it first went to Ticketmaster.
Well, like I have been Ticketmaster is just Ticketmaster. I know.
Well,
if it says
people are jacking them up.
Yeah, if it says 4,000, that means people are looking at that going, "Oh my God, there's 4,000 people," and leaving. That's also the bots going in there and buying all the tickets,
right?
Stopping, seeing how big it is, and leaving. So it's not really 4,000.
No,
I know. Outside of wrestling, there was a big thing happening in like January that that my friends wanted to go to, and like we just sat around waiting for it to open up, and it was like 3,000 to get in, and then after the 3,000 hit, it was 200 to get in. It's like, oh, well, and it just went back and forth like that, trying to deter people away, trying to deter bots away from
right. And SummerSlam's in pre-sale right now for those curious. So so you have the passcode, and I can't remember how you get it. So like the Friends and Family programs and in programming, TKO partner pre-show, the Universe registration promo, things like that. I probably have an email for a pre-sale that I haven't noticed that I didn't read yet. So that's probably out there somewhere. Yes.
I'm just trying to find, like I said, with the pre-sale, I don't have a code or anything. I'm just trying to find the cheap seats that are for pre-sale. And it looks like the cheapest ones available now, at least through Ticketmaster, are $100 ticket.
Okay. Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah, because I'm even looking at this. They're only selling it looks like they're only selling one side, like they're only selling one side of the stadium, like the lower stuff. Like there's no corners or anything available yet. So we're
Yeah.
not even. So there's probably some resales that are propped up for people to try to kind of bite some people right now. But that's probably about it. So yeah, no, I would not. Once these kind of unlock here, and even as you go in here, yeah, I just saw a $250 ticket on. Is that on the floor? Is that what I just saw?
No,
No.
I'm seeing one that's preferred aisle seating in section like
Oh, the
127
aisles, yes. But like
for $260.
I'm doing the float thing,
Mhm.
and I'm seeing $300 tickets on the floor. So,
Yeah.
and I'm seeing row 4 in section 133 for $2,000, and that's official platinum. You know, those are an experience ticket and stuff like that. So, like, there's another for section.
For $2,000, I'm gonna go there. For $2,000, I better have an experience that's borderline illegal.
But no, I think that is like I did see like the packages, the big high dollar packages. I saw an email for that today or yesterday too. So that's where we're at there. I know it's weird to see that kind of thing in a Cleveland event probably, but no, I think that's pretty. It's a pretty no brainer. I know some people talk about doing a bus up there or something from the Pittsburgh area. So yeah, no, I want to go up there and see what indie shows are happening and stuff like that weekend. Basically, I'm blocking it off. If anyone wants to book me for an indie show, I'm not far away, so the trans will be easy. But no, it'll be fun. To see if you've never been to a stadium show for WWE, now's the time. If you're in the greater Pittsburgh area, for a lot of our friends out there, so looking forward to that. Cool. So, again, we're getting the King and Queen of the Ring season here. New tag champions with Jade and Bianca. So, there you go. Yeah, Jade's getting the superstar treatment and is definitely a spectacle and definitely a superstar and is in the right place for that to be really personified. She's going to be mainstream here, I think, almost immediately here when it comes to WWE promotion. So, and that's right. She's exactly the kind of person that WWE does so well. And, you can say what this means for AEW and stuff, but she made the right professional move, like hands down. And that is not a slight on AEW. AEW obviously is a younger company that doesn't have that machine in there, which is now bigger, of course, because of the TKO connections. So, but yeah, that's the biggest thing. Anything else from maybe Raw, SmackDown, or Backlash that kind of hits for you guys?
I mean, going back to like the King of the Ring tournament type situation, I know they're building up so much to have Gunther win.
Okay.
Like it screams that they're going to do it, but I could see like Ilya shock him again in the semis or finals. I can see like I kind of want to see Baron Corbin win King again, just to see how they would do that. But he's not going to. He's probably going to get beat Friday. But like, it's going to be like, and even the Queen of the Ring side is pretty stacked too. Like, Natalia's who was Natalia facing? I know they. Was it Shayna? No, it wasn't Shayna.
No, it was, and I forget. No, I'm trying to bring up the bracket now. It was Io Sky.
Io, yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So
It was
Io and then Natalia were phenomenal. It just having this, like, I know for the past few years, King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring don't really hold stature. Like back in the day, we had the Bret Harts, we had the Stone Colds, we had the Mabels. We've had these big accomplishments for these wrestlers, but those accomplishments aren't overshadowed. Like, you get a title shot, you actually become a king, you actually do these storylines, and like Zelina ate it up when she was queen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like,
Same
like
with Kofi.
Xavier.
Oh,
I mean Xavier Woods. Yeah, Xavier ate it up because that was his big moment as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just hope that it comes back to being like, you get a title shot now. Like, as big as like Austin is, and he isn't that big unless he wins that match,
Mm-hmm.
unless he beats Jake Roberts and does that promo. So, I personally don't think Gunther needs to win. Like, it's more
No,
than
but
likely gonna be Gunther.
it'd be a great thing. It's a great bullet point. You know what I mean for his career. So, like, I know nobody needs to win, but it's like, what is the story? Is King of the Ring going to turn into King Gunther?
But he's already
is that going to be a thing. And yeah, he doesn't need anything, but
he's already in the Hall of Fame.
Also, for whatever reason, you know, when do we put Gunther on top? Is that going to happen? You know, is that going to happen in SummerSlam, WrestleMania, something like that? Like, what is there for Gunther to conquer other than a big tournament where he can just defeat everybody, right? So, like, why not, you know, do something like this? So, you know, other than that. So, and again, we always remember, we are looking at a storyline through a funnel, you know, of what's happening now. Somebody else has the entire board, you know, laid out about, oh, he's doing this now because it's going to make sense when he goes to do this later, right? You know,
we can at least say that now, though. We can at least say that now based on what has happened over the last few months. We can trust long-term storytelling.
Absolutely.
But
and
you go back in time a year and a half ago.
Sure.
You couldn't say that.
No.
Oh, you mean like
you
said, Drew got replaced by Jay, which was absolutely perfect. You know, and the camera shots on Raw of Drew leaving and then Punk pulling up right after Drew left.
Right.
In the same camera shot. You know, the camera shots and using it as part of the story is absolutely wonderful.
Absolutely.
Like they did one with who was it? Was it with Bronson, where he left the entrance, came around the bend and like talked to Scrap Daddy, and just like that one motion of just going around the entrance, like as they're talking, made it feel good. Like it made it feel like we're actually watching a television show, and it's not cutting in and out and fading back to the carnage in the ring, going to the announce team where McAfee, as much as I like for McAfee, he gets annoying sometimes. But
he kind of goes too deep in some of his gags, right? Where you're like, well, you gotta back off a little bit, you know. But he's having fun out there. Yeah,
I don't think the latest run, this run hasn't been as good as the first one, though.
For McAfee,
and I'm not. Yeah, for McAfee, there's just something where he needs to pull it back to 9.5 from 12.
Sure.
You know, keep the energy there. Keep the fact that Cole, you know, he brought joy back to Cole's life. Announcing.
There was one. Did you see who was on? Somebody was on Pat's show, and they called something out about Cole, and there was a text from. It was Drew. There was talking about something. There was a text from Cole who was like on the plane over for doing like media for Backlash, and he's like, and the text from Cole was like, "Fuck you, Pat. I thought we were friends." Like stuff like that. It's just like, wow. I love that saucy Cole is completely a thing. So
I like how wrestlers now can say fuck. Not on television, but on other platforms.
Oh yeah.
Like John Cena can say fuck.
Well, John Cena can do whatever that. Did you see Ricky Steninki? I watched that on a plane last week. It's tremendous, by the way. I can't remember the last like dirty comedy show. It's not even that dirty, but like raunchy comedy that I laughed so much at. On a plane. So I was the weird one.
But no, I mean, like I said, I think that WWE is, they got rid. I mean, I'm not talking about the big V guy. I'm talking production crew had some turnover, and that makes, I think, a huge difference. And it seems like, they're and also, it's just a matter of they don't have to worry about someone coming in. This is Vince mostly now. Someone coming in and tearing a story up.
Yeah.
30 minutes before the show starts. I think that makes a massive difference.
It's so incredible. They're like, oh, it's a lighter thing. They're saying the thing without saying the quiet part out loud. Because a Paul Heyman interview came up talking about how, like, if Vince sneezes, don't talk to him for an hour because he's not going to listen to you. Right, like things like that. Like it's just wild that is where, and you cannot discount. And aside all this allegations and stuff, aspect of it, obviously, but you cannot discount the things that Vince has done. But Vince maybe only talked to relied on somebody like the Nick Khans and the business side of things to grow. And I don't know. There's like a lot of like, hey, yeah, great, kind of a genius, but also like how much better could WWE have been if Vince didn't get in his own way on things, right? Like that's the kind of the like, who knows? Who knows? Like who knows what could have happened with that?
Well, I mean, we're talking about like he didn't have 50 or 60 people that no matter what he said was going to happen is going to happen. Like, there's nobody, like, I probably think that Triple H has those guys in the, like, maybe 2 or 3, but there are people who probably go, no, that's stupid. And he goes, okay, would you bet? And instead of going, no, you're stupid, he goes, okay, how do you better this? How do we go about doing this? Like, one up me, Robert Roode, one up me, Shane Helms, and not just be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it seems like there's a couple people like I feel like there's no I imagine you will not have to you don't necessarily have to work around work around Triple H. You know what I mean for anything like this. So like that's what it kind of feels like to me. So I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean he's still getting his feet too. Like when in the after Backlash press conference, someone asked about Drew Gulak, and he lashed out a little bit.
Oh yeah,
and it's like, yeah, you just got done with it, but I hate to say it, you're the public face of the company now. It doesn't matter if something is unrelated to the pay-per-view. There's a good chance you're going to get asked that question. So you got to, I know he just dealt with running the pay-per-view and doing everything and doing that ever successful. And it's like, okay, I may get these 3 questions, which are completely out of the blue. And, I have to have a stock answer.
He needs to get better about that because it is like, and I get that you're on the high from the show, you get thrown these, but again, where's Matt Collins at? That's what this is for. You've given this open. People are going. Do you want this to be a raw, a freaking raw thing, or do you want this to be, a press thing? Like, are you, they don't ask the easy questions after a football game. You know what I mean? And those guys have been bashing their heads in the entire time. So, things like that. So it's just, it is what it is. So,
yeah. Especially if there's an HR question, that's why you have a PR team that gives you the answers.
Yes. Yeah. You have
and give you the corporate speak. And give you the corporate speak.
And sure, like maybe this isn't his strong suit. Sure. Tony Khan's not great at it, but also, man, it makes it a little more interesting, doesn't it?
It does. It
makes the real stuff a little more interesting, and everything like that when you do have this. Could you imagine if Vince was being asked these questions? Vince would never even entertain this.
Because, you know why? Control. He's not going to do anything.
Everything about WWE up until this point was about having absolute control over the narrative. And yes, you do as a company have control over the narrative, but you're not choke holding it like they used to, right? You know, like, God, it still blows my mind that Bullet Club leaders were mentioned on the main event. You know, between Cody and AJ, like, I love that. Like, it's opening the kimono a little bit. You know, no, that's a wrong metaphor, but it's opening the veil. No, that's a
what are
metaphor.
you opening? What are you opening, Sorg?
It's opening a door. Of
It's actually having a guy in charge who actually watches wrestling.
yeah, but
Because Vince didn't.
No. It's not about watching wrestling. Well, okay.
What watching as in being?
You're right, but that's not the aspect.
It's
that
about
I feel like
understanding what people want to see.
Understanding that there's
that too.
This is the other thing I saw from this Paul Heyman interview was Vince doesn't know anything else. Nothing exists of Vince outside of what he's working on in WWE and pop culture, media, business. You know, if something was popular, you need to create maybe a 10-minute reel and show him that to understand it, and that was it. That's all you could do. If you like, why should we do something? Why should we have more hip hop and wrestling? This is why. This is the culture. This is why this is popular. You have to make a presentation for him, right? Because there's no way he has any bandwidth for that otherwise, right? Versus Triple H, I think has younger kids who are probably very like. Who was it that there was somebody, wasn't there something where he's like, so-and-so is my kid's favorite wrestler. Like, one of the girls was his kid's favorite wrestler, and that was one of the big things that was like, you know, I don't want to say that gave the push, but like gave a little bit like, if my kid likes this, means other kids like my kid likes it, right? Like, he's able to connect those kinds of things in a way that I don't think happened before. Right, so that's, you know, and this is all pontification over, you know, we're kind of reading the tea leaves between this and what we think this is and other comments. His oldest is like a year older than Junior, a year older than Tina's kid. But yeah, so I think that kind of comes in, and maybe they try to translate the Vince over the year, but you know, that's, you know, works as well as it's going to work. So, but anyways, it's exciting just to have fresh blood there, you know, and it's always amazing. So, again, no ads or anything this week, but and we'll give a moment for me to bring the document up here. But thank you to everybody that does support us at patreon.com/WrestlingMayhem Show. No Patreon content, just because of this weird schedule that we're on. Hey, it's spring. It's always weird around this time, so apologies for that. Trogan, in 2 weeks, we'll be back in the studio next week. I think I'm going to try to get one of our guests in. That's been a group of people that wanted to come in. And then we do have no live show here in about 2 weeks. The week before Double or Nothing, I don't think we're going to have a live show of any sort, because I'm thinking of actual vacation with some family. So that's the thing. I'm going to Disney because I happen to be in California.
Is Dad leaving us?
What's that?
Is Dad leaving us?
No, well, I mean, for a little bit. But thank you to everybody that support the show. Our friends at the fan show level. Bo diggity! Woo! I'm trying not to yell around my, you know, neighbors here in the hotel. Team Hammerfist, the Tupac family, who I got to see at hanging out at the Enjoy's Taco Mania this week. I think it was their first Enjoy show. Dave Prof, Potter, spouse of Rooster Fair at roosterfair.com. Rats and Trench Coat, Tony Kincaid. At the Pizza Club level, Doc Remedy, The Riz, and Lance Fisher. And at the brand manager level, Bradley. And it was also good to hang out with Bradley. Did we call out Bradley for something last week? Because he was grilling me about that on Sunday. I can't remember. I think it was late in the
we
show.
Probably did. We've grilled Bradley about everything.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
And he kept asking me, because he's like, did you find somebody to go to Taco Mania with? I'm just like, was I asking for somebody to go to Taco Mania with? So, and I had no record. Listen, I don't know what I did yesterday, guys. But if there wasn't,
Sunday was a weird day.
If there wasn't pictures on Instagram, or my legs didn't feel this way, I wouldn't know what I did this weekend.
We did see some Bradley related violence online.
Yes, and I missed this in person. It was the first session that this happened. Yeah, so somebody slow-moed Bradley chopping Gianni Michael Americo and Enjoy's Taco Mania, so appreciated that. Can I give a shout-out to Big League Pro? My day was too busy, so I didn't get a chance to finish the edit on this so we could start posting it. But it's going to be out by next week when I come back into town. We will wrap up those graphics. I really want to do something special for them, so I want to take time on it. Big League Pro is the new promotion, the reboot promotion up there in Erie, and they did May the Fourth be with you, and they put Star Wars everywhere. It looked like it's a young teen's bedroom in 2002. There's so much Phantom Menace stuff in there. Stormtroopers stand-ups. The towel. Oh, did I bring the towel? There's a picture of Dutters with it. God, nothing's logged in here, so I can't show it. But it was really, really cool. Action Toyman in Erie, a great vintage toy and comic book store in Erie, Pennsylvania, brought a lot of stuff and really dressed this place up. It was really, really fun, really cool. There was a lightsaber battle between Puff and Bill Collier to Duel of the Fates. And the main event was a 7-way ladder match with a Death Star hanging over the ring for the King of Erie. And I was in a lot of danger out there. But no, it definitely check that out. It'll be up here in a little bit. Check out the pictures, and my thing just went asleep again. So it's another reason why I'm having a short show tonight, I think. How long have we been going? Yeah, we'll probably go another 15 minutes. But a lot of fun. That'll be on IndieWrestling.us here in the near future. Very excited about what's going on there with the new owners and everything there for them. And I would just show, just a little bit of pictures on here because this is all I can really do. You can probably see mostly that they had this set dressed up and everything. Oh, that's production and things like that. There's definitely a Wookiee. There's Doc with a Wookiee. And even McChesney was sporting a lightsaber tie. I loved it. There's this is all from Action Toy Man, except for and there's Julia Lynn. You can check on her TikTok the good version of that. Definitely Sith Lording it up with the double lightsaber there, coming out with who she accompanied Derek Dillinger actually. So a lot of fun. Go check it out. Big League Pro. You can find on Facebook and social medias. So what's up?
You were just no, I was just seeing on the Facebook feed the double lightsaber video there.
And always good to see some buddies. Maybe you saw the picture there. I got to hang out with my second favorite IWC promoter, Chuck Roberts. So always good to catch him up. But Chuck is always on the first. He was on the first 2PW. He was on the first this. He was on some of the Revenge shows before. So always cool to see Chuck and hang out with. Chuck is my homeboy, right, Riz?
A pal,
my buddy,
pal.
My buddy,
a buddy, and a pal.
Chachi comes up to me at one point. Sorry, this is a whole thing. He comes up to me at one point. And he's just like, I got the full Chuck Roberts experience. I was like, what? He says, he's like, excuse me, buddy, thanks, pal. I was like, I got a buddy and pal on one exchange. I'm like, yes, this is it, So, but no, and also I always love how much fun Chuck Roberts has at shows that he's not promoting. So, always a good time there. So, anyways, anything else we need to touch on? AEW feels like it was a year ago at this point because they didn't have anything over the weekend. Kenny Omega came back, of course, and it's really getting funky because of I know we're in NBA playoffs. I know there's talk about, AEW's ratings are going down supposedly and things like that. Man, no wonder. I don't know when it's on anymore. Right? They were preempted entirely for the Saturday show. Rampage is just getting connected, thrown in as a third hour, left and right here. So, I don't think you can really judge their ratings right now because there's no normalcy to anything. This is how you kill a show, by tossing things around like this, right? And that's part of the deal. That's part of the deal right now. And we'll talk about the one thing that we'll end on the thing Tina brought up in the chat room.
But that's the second time Tina brought that up.
And
we do not want to anger Mother of
We'll get that. But again, I've been enjoying AEW and excited for where it's going, but also I just forget about it because there's a million things that have been between here and there, mostly personal life. But
how many times and we've been watching wrestling for years. How many times has Raw been preemptive or
not
for the dog show?
Not a lot anymore. It used to be, but that's really changed.
because WWE is WWE now.
They've been prioritized.
Before, when it was in the Attitude Era in that zone, they didn't have as much pull as something like
Well, yeah,
Arena.
And then USA doesn't have anything that's more important than it anymore, right? And there's and USA is now NBC Universal, and there's other channels they can put. Hey, let's the Raw puts in some pretty good numbers. Let's put the dog show over here, maybe. You know, and I don't know exactly what they've been doing with that lately, but like I can't remember the last time that's happened. TNT, obviously, NBA is the moneymaker, as well as AEW does. And I think I still hold that AEW does very well for the expectations that TNT has for it, but it's still not the NBA. Mm-hmm. So the NBA is going to come first, regardless, no matter what that does to the viewership. All of the major sports are doing that.
Yeah,
exactly.
No, because you have NHL, you have NBA, you have I think college basketball even was preempting them from doing it that day.
Yeah.
But WWE fell perfectly in that USA time slot.
And the other question is going to be, because the rights for things like NBA are up, if NBA goes away from TNT, they're going to want something strong like an AEW. Because AEW is going to do better ratings probably for them than just reruns of movies, right? And granted, the reruns for movies probably don't cost as much. Well, no, they might cost just as much, if not less, because AEW's cheap programming in the long run.
Oh, NBA is going to Amazon, maybe.
There is rumor of that, but they are still in the running. There was a whole thing explained on Core Killers I was listening to today. So it is not necessarily gone from TNT, but they are in discussions for others. There's discovery happening right now. So. That's what that's.
And of course, you have the whole question of, and this is sounding kind of familiar for us old enough to remember the late 90s. The corporate overlord of TBS and TNT is in a little bit of flux right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, so I mean, Warner Brother Discovery is not in the most solid position.
And also, like,
corporate.
But I also don't believe that we are in a position with wrestling today, because of how mainstream it's become, that you're not going to get an exec that just doesn't like wrestling anymore and decides to cancel it just because. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
no, agreed that.
I feel like, again, regardless of these ratings, and not knowing the full science behind ratings these days, I still hold that AEW is probably still one of the top rated programs on cable. It's not sports.
Right. No, so, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
And the big question is, can they get a big increase of fees in the next contract, which is coming up real soon? And that's part of the problem. It's the timing. They're having all these issues with the preemption, which everyone knew was going to happen.
Sure.
And the fact that WWE is exceptionally hot. I mean, unusually hot right now. So, you know, it's a matter of Tony Khan and his team going to Warner Brothers Discovery. And because now there was not Warner Brothers Discovery when they got the first deal before. Now they're going to a new company with new executives saying, here's what we can give you. Here's what we can do here. Here's what we can do here. We can do this. As Tina mentioned. Yeah, but Tina also mentioned
those conversations are already in process. Oh, obviously. They've been happening for a year at this point. So,
but the problem now is, where do these new executives who weren't in, where do they want to spend money? Or because we also saw what happened when the merger happened with all the new shows that were originally on Max and HBO, you know, the streaming service, they all got cut left and right. Movies were getting cut left and right. Movies that were done were getting cut just for cost savings.
Yeah.
So, and I hate to say it, it shouldn't matter. It should just be, you have a really good product. People want to see your product. But we all know corporate, in terms of cost cutting and how much, like I said, if they put out and they want to keep the NBA, how much money do they have left over for AEW? And AEW doesn't really have anywhere else to go. I mean, it'd be great if they
there
had
would be somewhere, somebody
there'll be
will figure
bidders.
that out.
Yeah.
No, I think they'll figure out something. To be honest. No, be interested to see how any of that goes. Lastly, let's talk about it before Tina cancels her Patreon subscription. Actually, I don't know if she's on the list or not. It doesn't matter. Great contributor.
Yeah, she is.
WrestleMania is coming to Las Vegas. Oh my God!
Put NXT in the Sphere.
And they moved it later in. There was a rumor about them wanting
Much
to move it
later.
later because of the wanted to get away from the Final Four March Madness situation. Makes sense. There's not anything. I think we're before most of the playoffs at this point. So it's a nice little sweet spot there. And also, hey, if we come back to things like, New Jersey or something, like I think it'll be chances of being a little bit warmer than what we experienced in Philadelphia this year. So I think there's a lot of opportunity there, obviously. So I'm really hoping my schedule works out, and I'm planning to flag. I'm there as long as I don't have to do a project, which hopefully I'll get those schedules very, very soon. And Potter, and friends of the show. I might be planting some C's this week as I get on the job. But see what's going on. Yes, no, my schedule for 2025 actually starts now with the WrestleMania announcement and figuring out what everybody else is doing around.
It was so awkward.
Was it?
Like, the announcement was a little awkward because they did it during the Kentucky Derby.
The Kentucky Derby. And they had wrestlers at the Kentucky Derby as well.
Yeah.
Like Seth and Becky were there.
They had creamsicle monorail Seth Rollins there. With futuristic from WWE 2K20 Becky Lynch. But I want it, and I keep saying it. I'm going to say it until it happens. I want WWE NXT or SmackDown, or even maybe not Raw, but like a smaller show in that sphere. I want them to actually combine, because I thought about this during the time I'm constantly tweeting about it. Like, imagine half that side is the real like paying audience, and then the other half is like bringing back Thunderdome.
I feel like there's a much bigger
wall.
idea. There's a much grander idea to do with that than Thunderdome. But I see where you're going.
Yeah.
All we know we know is what we know, and we don't know what they're inventing.
I can also see, like I said, the SmackDown with the Hall of Fame coming from there.
I love it.
That would be great. And as Tina mentioned, it's on Easter Sunday.
What?
And it's 420.
No.
It is on Easter Sunday.
They said, "Screw you, Easter."
No
way. That's bonkers.
Yeah.
Easter Sunday WrestleMania?
Yep. So SmackDown will be Good Friday, assuming it's still on Friday.
Oh my gosh.
And WrestleMania will be on Easter.
And on the third day, Roman Reigns has risen. Guys, speaking of Roman Reigns and raising my interest, the WWE Ninja Turtles crossover figures, have you seen these?
No, they made more.
More?
Wasn't there like
that's
first
right.
ones?
Okay, those
like
were all
with
ones.
Cena and...
Right, they were done in the style of the Ninja Turtles, right? Like the Ninja Turtle figures, right? So there are new ones in the style, of the WWE figures. So let me see. Okay, so these are the ones you're talking about that I'm about to pull up here.
Right, the one with like Undertaker and John Cena and Macho Man.
Yeah,
Yes.
so like something like this. These are the
And
ones that you're
Sting.
talking about. So these are the turtles dressed. Okay, so these are the turtles dressed as wrestlers. What I'm talking about are the new sets that are, and I'm looking for them right now. They are the wrestlers dressed as the turtles. So we are talking.
I found them.
You found them.
Yep.
I'm trying to find them, but we'll just do 2024 on this one.
Fucking, he's Shredder.
Roman Reigns is Shredder.
The Shredder. Yeah.
Wait, is there also Is there also going to be a?
So- The ones I've seen, and I'm still looking for the images here. I'm on Bing search, so of course it's a problem. It's Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods dressed as the Turtles. Like, they, you know, they have like jackets and stuff, and it looks like they're wearing hoodies. I think, if I'm not mistaken. Man, I cannot find the picture.
So that's Roman.
I'm
And
going
Roman
to put it in
Reigns-
the Facebook.
Roman
I'm going to put it in the
Reigns-
Facebook chat. I'm going to put it in the
Put it in the
Facebook.
Facebook
Yeah,
chat.
that's-
I can't bring it up
so,
on here.
so that's
unfortunately.
Roman
Okay.
So-
and Cody as what's his face? The hockey player.
Ooh, there we go.
Nope.
So
this is.
There you go. Here's for you guys on video here in the old school way, holding the phone up to the camera here. But yeah,
So
Roman the
who is
Shredder. You got Kofi, and they're just like wearing a Ninja Turtles jacket
Cody's
at this point, not the weapons.
Cody's Casey Jones.
Yeah,
Cody's
Casey Jones. That's what I was talking
That
about.
makes so much
The
sense.
only one I'm kind of like struggling with is because they it looks like they have like a little comic book style on the back.
Mhm.
Who is the one between New Day? Is that Seth? That's Seth. Okay, that's Seth Rollins.
I'm looking. Yeah, I haven't seen anything except for the New Day and the Roman situation.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
still.
it looks
looking
like
for the
there's going to
rest
be
of them.
New Day, Roman, Cody, Ray, and Seth Rollins in this pack.
Yeah, I'm seeing that on the illustrations, but I haven't seen the actual figures of anybody but those three.
Yeah.
So.
Also, that does not look like Seth Rollins. That kind of looks like Frank
over
DeVille.
comic version, so that can
That looks like
Yeah.
local wrestler Frank DeVille.
used to be a piece.
Used
of
to be a
shit.
piece of shit. Yep.
So.
And now is a piece of shit.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Guys, thank you so much. Again, weird episode, early episode. Hey, guys, for those tuning in for the usual time right now, thank you guys so much. Riz is the conqueror of the Pittsburgh Marathon, of course. Whoa,
Well,
part
one
of
of
the
them.
marathon. He
Like,
did.
part
There
of
you
the
go.
marathon.
Part of the marathon. Yes.
Part of it.
The relay. You took like a 4 or 5 mile one. I took the 3 since it was
Yeah.
my first time.
Dutters didn't go easy on us.
And, well, Dutters took 11 because she took 2 legs.
Yeah, she took 11
So,
on us.
Then we had
so-
another
so-
ringer in there that did 9-minute miles and really helped us out there. So that was helpful.
And I will be in Florida, so I'm not going to do anything on my stream.
Riz is going to be reporting to the
Ooh.
Performance Center in Florida. So enjoy that. Enjoy your vacation. You're doing family vacation. That's nice.
I'm doing family
That's
shit.
nice.
Yeah.
And then, excellent. And
Are
Partner,
we-
of course, Partner is my marathon
Yep.
guide as
Are we
well.
Are we
Did
forgetting
did
something?
Did a half marathon? What did we forget?
Sword.
What?
What did you learn?
Oh, geez, that's what we do. Okay.
What yeah, what did we do in
learn?
this? What
What did we learn?
Sword?
This
What
week?
did we learn?
I learned
You know
can
what we
hit
do in this
somebody
show?
so hard with a plastic lightsaber that it wraps around their body.
Mm.
That's what I learned from wrestling this week. What
What
about
did
you,
What
Riz?
did you do? I learned that these little subtle hints don't like always happen with Uncle Howdy or Bray Wyatt now.
Mhm.
They're happening more and more. And what I'm referring to is 2 weeks ago, there was a little hint, hint, nudge, nudge of a merge between Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan.
Mm.
And now, and I will, let me see if I can share. Now, I haven't used this. Does the share screen get weird if I do this?
I can't remember, but I think I did let you guys do it.
Oh, it's
So-
disabled. Okay,
Oh,
so
sorry about
I'm
that.
going to post it in the chat
I
anyways.
should open that up.
So Liv Morgan did like a little photo shoot in front of Rhea's picture on the truck.
Mm-hmm.
And there is one particular picture that is very Easter eggy.
Mm-hmm.
And let me post that in there. In the second picture on this like Instagram post, notice her pocket. Like you probably can't. Like you have to zoom in very close.
So here's a picture for you guys on video. And if you zoom in really close, what am I looking at here?
You see that little thing
Yeah,
sticking
guy
out?
in there. There's a little guy in there or something, right?
What is that thing, Sorg?
What? I can't tell. What is that?
Is that a purple bandana?
Oh.
Right?
Oh.
I almost said Ray.
Happening.
I almost said Ray, but Dominic, good for you, buddy.
Coming around. When mommy's away, Dom will play, apparently. Which is going to add, oh my God, that story. Oh man, that's going to be so much fun.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
man.
going to be really good.
Ponder, what'd you learn?
Honestly, my brain's fried from the weekend, but just that it's good, and I know we said this a couple times, it's good just to see good wrestling.
Yes.
You know, that, like I said, I had my podcast yesterday, so I had to watch clips of Raw. But seeing the clips from Ricochet, first of all, Ricochet actually having a spotlight on him and just not ignored, but Ricochet versus Dragunov, that match was amazing. And I mean, for a Raw that had 8 matches on it, or I guess they got 6 in, right? They didn't get all 8. But that's still so much wrestling.
Yeah.
Where we remember where Raw used to go 50 minutes between, without a match.
Yeah. And it still starts that way, but they really kind of backload it too.
Yeah.
So
Like the weird like pause didn't happen at the beginning. It happened in the middle with and I know you're in the middle of it now, Sorg, but it's with that Becky Lynch promo.
Okay.
Which happened in the ring with the crowd getting super annoyed.
Yeah. Dude, the women's promos have been real bad lately. Like that, the three-way kind of promo thing that happened at the beginning of Raw last week was so bad. It was just, and not everything's going to hit. I get it, but it was just like, it sticks out more when everything's firing on all cylinders for the rest of the show. So I don't know what that's about. Tina learned that the whole world believes in Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry is in competition with Taylor Swift on the charts, and it's been pretty incredible.
That. Yes,
and his Take Me Higher cover to make fun of Top Dollar was amazing. I kept coming across people watching the clip during events that I was at over the weekend of that song, and it's popped up so many times in my feed in the last few days. I love it. Joe Hendry's a treasure, and I'm so glad people are getting turned on to him right now.
Yep.
Here it is.
You're getting turned on by Joe Hendry.
Yeah, there it goes. Guys, thank you so much. Riz, now
Sorg.
avid runner. Riz plays games. Not that that's going to do something right now, but thank you so much for joining me, Riz.
Thank you for having me, Sorg.
And, of course, Dave Potter, iPhoneography Podcast, and also other avid runner.
Yes.
A lot more avid runner than both of us, Sorg.
Also, you can see, if you go look at the feed for Kate Marie PGH on the Instagram, you can see Katie bouncing and skipping over the finish line. She came around and to the meetup spot after the walk-off to meet us with the Cody Rhodes at the end. And she wants confetti.
Yeah, next year we're getting poppers.
We're going to get popper confetti because we sell somebody else with them afterwards. So that'll be to go with the whoa, pop kind of situation. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining us. I have no outro because I couldn't figure out where to download it from. We'll see you guys next time. It's just going to be a nice, smooth fade out from here. Thank you. Mayhem out.
Butts.